Aloha, this is your mean squirrel, here with a quick disclaimer. This podcast contains explicit content and parental discretion is advised. So no bitching if you fucking get offended by anything. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, man. Oh, man, that's another minute you're never going to get back in your life.
I could actually bop to this all day long.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back again for another episode of the Squirrel Tangent. We unfortunately do not have the Bratty Squirrel with us because for the first time in well over a year now, I am recording on location. How scary is this? We're almost 2 years old.
Wow, already?
The Squirrel Tangent is almost 2 years old.
Damn, that was quick.
Yeah. Every other week, with the exception of one, I think we skipped one time in 2 years.
Wow.
That's a lot. But with me, of course, we have the Suave Squirrel.
Hola, ¿cómo están?
and recording in person. This is weird because we took out the cheap microphones for tonight because we're recording at a Denny's. Right near our house, or right near my house. So these microphones sound very different.
Yeah.
Well,
Normally when we're recording, of course, you're at your place, I'm at my place, and, we'll start recording, and we could say just about anything. But then I just realized I have to be careful exactly what I say and how loud I say it.
Well, yeah, that's why, because we have the microphones in such a way that we can hold them right up next to our face.
Yeah, but one of the things I wanted to start off with was, I keep seeing on social media, all platforms that, women will comment, how is it that men can shoot a deer or game from, 100 to 400, 500 yards away, but we can't, aim at a toilet. And then I thought about it. It's like, well, there are different forms why we can't aim.
Well, to start with, I probably couldn't shoot a deer 10 feet away from my ass. I used to mess around with like crossbows and actual, bow and arrow type stuff. Yeah, okay. So what? I was part of the SCA. I'm into ancient weaponry. Don't give me anything that requires anything harder than like wood. I like wood.
But, okay, so to all the women who are listening to this podcast, I'm going to give you the reasons why we cannot aim. Number one.
Split stream.
When we're drunk. 2, after sex. 3, when we're running our asses to the bathroom and we're trying,
Oh yeah, no. We'll like aim at whatever wet puddle that we can find.
Yes.
We're like, I'm kind of close. Whatever. I just got to get it empty.
When you wake up half asleep in the middle of the night, and you just can't do anything. It's like
you're going to the bathroom with like your eyes shut.
Yes. Bumping into the walls, the doorway,
right,
or whatever,
right?
And you think we're going to be able to actually, and then if you turn on that light, we're blind as a bat,
right? No, absolutely.
And then it gets even worse if a guy's not circumcised.
I fortunately don't have that issue.
I do.
See, he's rocking the sea cucumber, and I can't imagine that. I can't imagine doing that shit.
So everything I just explained now, not being circumcised makes it even worse.
The big issue, especially for the after sex thing, is you always end up with like that little bit that like splits the stream.
Yes.
So like you've got the main stream that's going, like you're aiming at the toilet.
Yeah. Like in the movie Me, Myself, and Irene with Jim Carrey. He's like, why
everywhere.
Why does it seem like I just had sex? And it's flying all over the place.
Right.
And that's actually true.
It absolutely is, because like when you got like the main stream going into the toilet, and then the other stream is like hitting the wall behind you. It's not even remotely close. Like it does like some weird acrobatic shit with your piss. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, so for all the women who do listen, that's some of the reasons why.
For all the women that listen, I'm sorry. You're getting guys talking about dick problems right now. So, and we do not have a woman to control the situation here.
I think that's a good reason to be able to talk about it.
Right. What? Oh, I might get some shit for this episode later. Because I'm going to have to go home and edit this, and then I'm going to upload it, and Brandy's going to hear it in the morning and be like, what the fuck? Damn.
So, it's, so now so don't give a shit about it,
And the easy solution for all of this, sit.
Even then, here's another reason.
Oh yeah, morning wood when you're sitting in morning wood, dude, that's the worst thing in a planet, dude. Okay, now I'm not exactly hung like a horse. I'm never gonna claim it, but when I sit down in the morning,
and
because now you have a couple of different possibilities for morning wood. You've got the bend and pee, where you're basically putting your forehead on the wall 5 inches above the toilet tank.
Oh my god.
And pushing the giggle stick down so that you can aim at the toilet.
And sometimes unfortunately the wood is so hard that it hurts to actually bend it.
Right. No, that's not comfortable. And then
at that point you might as well just jump into the shower and
right. At that point, jumping in the shower is probably the easiest solution. But the other option would be to sit down, and then you have to like bend yourself in half in order to get it under the lip of the toilet.
Yes.
And then, like in my case, it doesn't matter how far back I go in the toilet, the head of my dick is still touching the wall of the toilet. And I don't know about you, but that's disgusting.
Yes, it is.
That's disgusting. Like I want to dip my dick in bleach after that. So that's not usually the option that I take.
Oh my god, what a way to start this podcast. Oh dear Lord.
Oh my god. And we're only 8 minutes into this, so
we actually took almost 7 minutes to talk about with this one subject.
Took 7 minutes of talking about why we can't hit the damn toilet water. Plus, we're stubborn. So, even when we don't have the morning wood issue, we're not going to sit down. We're stubborn, and we're guys, and yeah.
Yeah, but oh my god. It's always funny, when we're doing these podcasts, it's like out of nowhere. Just I keep wondering, how do we come up with all these different subjects every single time? It's just all of a sudden a random thought and boom, okay, let's talk about this.
Well, and it's because of the fact that we are just having a normal conversation.
Yeah.
And that is the whole reason why we wanted to get the podcast going in the first place.
Yeah.
Was because normal conversation was fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, here we are.
But, it's one thing that when we have the Bradley Squirrel here and she...
Right. Now, the bad part is they called me the Squirrel Wrangler because I would try to keep Brady and whoever our guest is kind of constrained. But she's really the one that has like the zero filter mouth that tells us where to go shove it.
I know she's got the mouth of a sailor, and then some.
Yeah, no.
Ooh, that would be interesting. Hearing Brady Squirrel and Betty White.
Oh God. Oh God. No, and that would be Brady talking to like one of her idols. Like,
imagine
that would be a
them
dream
two
come
talking.
true.
Just, I mean, I've heard Betty White, and it's amazing. That woman is a goddess. I mean,
oh yeah,
70 plus years in the business and still going strong.
Yeah, and she was way ahead of her time to begin with.
Yeah. To think that she's older than sliced bread. Sliced bread did not come out until 12 years after she was born.
Why do you know that?
Because someone actually said it. I don't know if it was I saw it on YouTube or I looked it up, or I think I looked up sliced bread, and then for some reason I decided to look up Betty White, and Betty White is older than sliced bread.
Okay. Betty White is older than sliced bread. Now we know this. You can't forget that. Something you can't unknow.
How many presidents she's seen in her lifetime, or met in her lifetime?
Or met, yeah, because she's met quite a few of them. I mean, and because she's always been on the forefront, like before segregation ended,
this woman is amazing. I read up more about her, and I'm just flabbergasted by she is a national treasure.
She is, and hopefully she does outlive Steven Tyler. They're both about pickled the same. I think when the world ends through our own stupidity, because we as a human race is going to end this,
Betty White might still be around.
Betty White and Steven Tyler are going to be hanging around going, what the fuck were those dumbasses thinking when they... God damn it.
You have heard the joke when people ask Betty White, what is the one person, you wish, to do,
Mm-hmm.
And her natural response is Robert Redford. She has put, the way she talks, she has put sailors to shame.
Oh yeah. So, speaking of putting sailors to shame, let's... Okay. Now, it always gets brought up again because, especially with Suave here, we're both bus drivers. I was driving the Deuce this Wednesday. That is the double-decker bus on the strip of Las Vegas. And on my first trip of the day,
oh no,
I pull up to the Wynn stop, and we see some stuff on the strip.
Oh, most definitely.
This lady was dressed in a bodysuit that looked like it was made from the skin of a disco ball. Skin tight. She should not have been wearing skin tight any damn thing.
Oh.
She was wearing a shiny gold jacket. Right, now she's got silver sequins, so it looked like she was like this giant walking disco ball with a shiny gold jacket.
Was she trying to blind people?
I don't know, but she was yelling at people. Well, she was yelling at air, and people happened to be around. Yeah, nobody could figure out quite what was wrong with her because she was just kind of like screaming and yelling at randomness. Okay. That was the first half of trip one.
Oh, excuse me. How far do you think it is from Excalibur to the welcome sign? About what, 3/4 of a mile?
From Excalibur to the welcome sign?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3/4 are...
Between half and 3/4?
Yeah, something like that. Probably closer to a mile, actually.
Because on Friday I did overtime on the strip,
Mm-hmm.
and these 3 men and these 3 women, the women were literally in basically stiletto heels.
Okay.
And they asked me, do you think it's possible to walk from Excalibur to the welcome sign? I go, no, not in those heels. I go, you're going to be begging for mercy after you walk that
Right.
1 mile.
Right. And see, now, if you're not living in Vegas, ladies, if you visit Vegas, I don't care what you wear out of your hotel room, get a pair of foldable flats to put in your purse.
Yes.
Because,
Some people try to even walk in sandals.
Yeah.
No.
Get one of those foldable flats. They'll slip on your feet when your feet die, because they will. Put on the flats.
I've had there's quite a few tourists that will walk, and I've heard them say it, walk from the Mandalay all the way to downtown Las Vegas.
To Fremont.
Yes.
Now, Mandalay to Fremont is about 6 miles.
Yes.
You don't want to do that in heels.
Yeah, especially since you have to go up escalators or stairs and then come back down them, go over a bridge, several bridges,
Walking through construction. And
Yes.
dear Lord, the construction. So, yeah, be careful. Always carry flats with you. And in fact, don't walk out of the house with heels on. If you're going to a club, fine. But if you're going to actually walk around for the day, wear your
best sneakers.
Yeah. With insoles. And maybe an extra pair of socks.
Oh, yeah. And then by the next day, you're going to want to go to some foot reflexology place, get a good massage, because your feet are going to be hurting.
Oh, yeah. So, the second half of my first trip, I get just past Circus. Now, right now, because of construction, the Circus stop is closed. That wasn't the problem. You go from Convention Center all the way down to Sahara.
Oh,
No stops in between.
yes.
Ow. That's probably about 1.5 miles. But right after you pass Circus, there's this guy standing on the construction wall who turned around, flipped me the bird, and was yelling loud enough to be heard by my passengers, called me a fucking N-word.
Yeah, I actually had that. I had someone call me the N-word a few years ago. And what's sad, and
you're at least brown skinned.
Yeah, here's the thing: is that of course the people we work with, I'm actually darker than some of them.
Right.
And I told the coworkers this, and they're looking at me like, "Damn, that's sad that they're comparing you to us."
Well, and no, they obviously you can't see me because this is an audio format, but I'm a white boy. I am a very white boy. Yeah, and calling me that, it just
Yeah.
And again, this is not the first time it's happened on the Strip with me.
Yeah.
There was a black lady on the bus right behind me that I was having a conversation with the whole time. And she's like, "Did he just call you? What? but what?
Yeah.
So that was the second half of the first trip. The second trip. I started the second trip. This is how my day went. This is one day. This is not like in a week. This is not. This is one day of what? Is it a full moon? Like
Yes.
Is it Mercury retrograde or
you
something?
You must know something, okay? As a bus, for those who are listening, every day is a whole different day. we might get a semi-normal day.
Yeah.
Within 24 hours, all hell breaks loose.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then by the third day, you wonder what the hell people are smoking or drinking or whatnot.
So, I pull away from the main bus station, Bonneville. About to turn onto Charleston, or turn off of Charleston onto Las Vegas Boulevard. I'm sitting at the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard. There is a lady who is probably around 220, 230 at like 5 foot nothing.
Oh God!
Not a small girl. Not a small girl. And she was holding on to her wheelchair as she was crossing the street in nothing but a t-shirt and her panties.
Jeez.
Standing in the middle of the street dancing.
When we had to do the Sahara Express A that went all the way to Hollywood and Lake Mead, I had to grab a relief car, and I was going down Lake Mead, going eastbound.
Right.
I crossed Las Vegas Boulevard, north.
Sorry about that.
All of a sudden, I look over to the bus stop. I see a guy, his back to a woman. The woman had nothing but a bra on, wiping herself down with possibly baby wipes.
Well, I'm not done with the big lady with the panties.
Oh, jeez.
She got to the other side of the street, pulled the panties down, and squatted right there in the corner.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Right there on the corner, right in front of everybody. Not even hiding behind a tree. Not even like pretending modesty. Just like, yeah, here it is.
I've had a call in on a few where women were hiked up their dresses, sat on the bench seats at the bus stop, and they just let go, and then get up and walk away. And then people wonder why the streets are so or the sidewalks are so disgusting. This is what I tell passengers is that especially when we see them putting their feet up on the seats, and they're like, what's the problem? And I tell them, you know what? You don't know what you've stepped in. We see pee at a bus stop, poop. Not only human, but animals,
right?
Blood, spit, whatever. Who knows what people have?
I had a guy on my bus just yesterday who was spitting on the floor of my bus.
Oh yeah,
I've had somebody whip it out and take a leak by the door.
Yeah. Just this week, I found a box of condoms. One of them was taken out, and the other other condoms were left on the bus.
Dude, those are like $7 for a freaking 3-pack. Who the fuck wastes condoms like that?
I don't know, but they were still wrapped, so I took the ones that were available.
Right? The condoms ain't cheap.
Yeah.
Fuck. I mean,
they are cheap, if you consider what could happen if you don't have
right. One. The alternative is, $10,000 pregnancy plus, an extra,
$300,000 maybe on the low end.
Yeah, for the entirety of the 18 years. Yeah. And then maybe even college education and just
yeah. So yeah, and in retrospect, yeah, they are cheap.
Yeah. But damn, who the fuck wastes condoms like that?
And what's nasty is actually finding a used one on the bus.
Finding a used one on the bus. Now, I haven't had the fortune of having that, or the misfortune of having that yet.
In the 9 years I've been in Vegas, I have seen at least 3. At least.
Damn. I mean, I still, I'm at the point where I don't get surprised by roadhead anymore.
Yeah.
I've seen handies happening in the cars next to me. I've seen every part of the female body flash at me. I've seen every part of the male body flashed at me. So
It's Vegas. It's Sin
it's
City.
Vegas. Although I have to say, one of the highlights of my day is always being able to talk to animals. Because you ever pull up to a stoplight and somebody's got their dog sitting in the passenger seat, and then you do it. You open the window, you talk to that dog all the time, and
some of them are good, but then you get the ones that they just look at you like, I'm gonna rip your head off.
Right. Recently I had one where I got to talk to a bird.
What?
No. Lady was sitting in the car next to me, had a macaw.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, the macaw was sitting there, right, and they had the window open. And she was holding on the macaw on her arm, and I was talking to the bird. It's like, hello, and I was like, well, hi. Or when you have a car pull up next to you and you get like kids in the back seat.
Yes.
And then you can be like,
yeah, they're all excited and they start waving. Of course,
And I don't care who you are a complete dick if a kid does the motion to tell you to honk the horn.
Yes.
You honk that damn horn.
You know what? I actually read that where the truck drivers are very happy to see that. If a child does that to a truck driver and they actually honk their horn, the truck drivers are super happy. Because nowadays, they don't see it anymore. Not like our generation where we could do it. Every truck that passes by, hello,
Right. And it's one of those things where, because when you do that, you're making that kid's day. So that makes your day.
Yes.
I mean, it's just a great feeling. I had probably the cutest experience that I've had in a long time. One of our coworkers got on with her, I think he's like a 3-year-old son. Like, really, really, really young.
Yeah.
Barely speaking young. And so I'm driving the 401, so I had an empty bus that trip. And the kid was all excited to be on the bus. Like, oh my God, I'm on the bus, running back and forth, checking out all the seats, looking around at everything. So I'm like, you know what? I opened my little driver's compartment. Go on up, buddy. And he sat in the seat and had his hands on the wheel. He was like bouncing up and down. It's like, oh my God, I did that. I drove the bus.
I did that one time. The child was so excited, for being in a huge bus. And I had like 4 minutes, I was early.
Right. No, I had like 10 minutes. It was my layover.
I got people in and the kid was all excited. I go, hold on. And I put him in the seat and the parents took pictures. The parents were more excited. They're like, oh my God, yes, Right. So, and then the kids, the child smile. He was like, oh, yes.
Okay, so whenever you guys see a bus driver and you think, oh, you know what, they're assholes, they're dicks, or whatever. No, we're just assholes and dicks to you.
When it comes to children, if they're very respectable,
right, and I see it all the time where I get a chance to make somebody's day, to make somebody smile.
Yes, and
that makes it worth it for me,
Now, okay, so I'm going to go into a different subject. About 5-6 years ago, I got summoned for jury duty, or to try and become one of the jurors. I made it through the first process, got into the courtroom, and of course, the prosecutor and the defense were asking questions. Now, the whole thing was a woman ran over a child and killed the child. Now they were trying to figure out if the woman should pay. Here's the thing, though. It was in a school zone. However, Now, the woman was possibly going 5 to 10 miles over the speed limit. Here's the kicker, though. The child jaywalked. So that's where the dilemma came in. And when they were asking the judge, the prosecutor, and the defense attorney, they're like, okay, what would you do? Well, there was a truck driver who was part of the selection. And he's like, well, we see things, as a truck driver, we see this. I got up. Now, what's funny is everyone needed a microphone,
right,
to speak up, to be heard.
Right.
I stood up, didn't need the microphone. Now, it's going to sound funny. Now, I am Mexican, born in San Diego, and for my senior year in high school, I was a cheerleader, including my freshman year in college. Now, I know how to really make my voice very deep and heard.
Right.
So I'm in the courtroom, and as they're asking questions, all of a sudden out of nowhere, the judge is like, "Where's the microphone?" I go, "What microphone, Your Honor?" He's like, "You're talking?" I go, "Yes." He couldn't believe how loud I was.
Right.
So when I got up, I go, "Well, I'm a city bus driver. I see this all the time." I go, "It's basically monkey see, monkey do." The kids see the parents doing this, jaywalking, and think it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I see adults in cars, or even especially young adults, driving, who are on their phones. And I think that was one of the things about the woman, is that she was on her phone at the same time.
Okay. See, now the being on her phone, that kind of levels the playing field. That kind of negates the child jaywalking thing, for me, because if you are driving the speed limit within a mile or two over, I get it. Nobody's exactly on the speed limit. 5 miles over, 5 miles under, nobody's gonna bat an eyelid at that. But if you're driving pretty close to the speed limit and paying attention to the road, chances are you're not going to hit a kid unless the kid comes out last second.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing, is that's what I was going to say. Some of these kids are, like, the parents are just darting,
Right.
I mean, sometimes we barely,
Oh, yeah.
we get super close to hitting these, kids and adults, and you see the parents, grabbing their child's arm and dragging their child across the street, to get somewhere. And we're going 35 to 45 miles per hour. And,
right.
For us, it'll be traumatic if we actually hit them,
Oh, yeah.
Because, both parent and child are just going to be splattered all over the place.
Yeah, no, a human being for one of our buses isn't even a speed bump. I mean, it's squished like grape.
Yeah.
It just... Yep. It's not even a thing. And whereas it is a thing for the driver. I mean, when something like that happens, and I have never... we've had a few bus drivers hit a person.
Yes.
And I haven't met one that came away unscathed mentally. Like...
Yeah. I mean, the only way they can come out of it is if they're just numb to it.
Yeah.
They may have seen just about everything under the sun, to where they're super numb,
And yeah, no, it's a sad, scary thing.
It's one thing. I've seen plenty of adults who have taken their lives and whatnot, and that's one thing. But you put a child into that,
yeah,
it's a whole different thing.
Like I had one, and this was a long time ago. I had one where I was pulling up to Flamingo, roughly, and a guy came out in a wheelchair that, and he just like rolled out into the middle of the street, stopped his wheelchair, climbed out, and laid down in the middle of the road.
Oh, wow.
Like, he was attempting to commit suicide by car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, what takes you there?
Yeah, and then there's those who are reckless,
Right.
I've had where, because we have bus lanes here in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, especially on Flamingo, like you were saying, I once had a couple, literally a husband and wife, both in wheelchairs. And right before I get to a certain major intersection,
Mm-hmm.
both of them are in the bus lane.
Yeah.
And I, luckily, every single time I didn't have traffic on my left side, and I had to swerve around them.
Yeah.
The last time it happened, I got out of my seat at the bus stop, let the people know, it'll be a minute or two, and I walked to the back and I laid into them.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous that these people not only put their own lives, but
The lives of others.
not,
Yeah.
especially, if I'm the sole breadwinner,
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to be paying me my salary for the rest of their lives?
Right.
And how are they going to pay? If they're in, in wheelchairs for the rest of their lives,
Mm-hmm.
and they're getting only a certain amount of money per month, it's not going to make up for what I make in a
Right.
month.
Right. Now, that kind of actually the psychological effects of things, the PTSD that comes from accidents like that, and now for anybody that isn't aware, PTSD is not purely a military thing.
Mm-mm.
PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder, and that means you have witnessed or been part of something that is truly traumatic in your life, and it has had a significant effect on your mental health.
Oh yeah.
But there's another thing coming to light now, in the days coming out of the COVID.
Oh yeah.
COVID
Last
thing.
year it was really bad. Last year, and then at the beginning of this year,
Mm-hmm.
I was driving a double decker on Decatur, which is a super easy route for us.
Right.
But in a matter of a month, as I was turning in from one street onto the other, I don't know if it was two juveniles or two adults who threw rocks at the bus I was driving and shattered the upstairs windshield.
Damn.
This happened on Christmas Eve.
And beyond that, though, there's actually a new condition coming to light. Re-entry anxiety. And this is part of the reason why the Bratty Squirrel can't be with us right now, is even though she is vaccinated, we're both vaccinated.
Oh yeah.
With the new CDC guidelines saying that we could actually just basically continue life as normal. It's difficult for some people to reintegrate into society.
Yeah.
And the idea of leaving the house right now is still too difficult for her.
Yeah.
And we're dealing with it now. If anybody that does listen to this, or anybody that is dealing with this, be patient. Be patient. There are people that have issues like this that they can't control. This isn't something they chose. This isn't something they want. They want to go out. They want to be in the world that is.
And the problem is when you come in contact with people, who has been vaccinated, who hasn't,
who hasn't, is that surface clean? Who's touched that over there? And
has it been clean within the last who knows how much time?
Right. And
you get into what Howie Mandel has, the
he's a germaphobe.
Yes.
And
nowadays that's basically what people are becoming, is germaphobes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I carry 3 different freaking sanitizers with me pretty much at all times. I have a bag. In my bag, I have a spray sanitizer so that, before I put all this away, it's going to get sprayed down.
Yeah.
And it's with me, I'm basically mentally a healthy person.
Yeah.
I'm a well-balanced individual.
I talked to my father not long ago, and I was telling him how I got vaccinated and whatnot, and he reminded me that it was extremely rare that I ever didn't go to school.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the fact that I had chickenpox in the 3rd grade,
Mm-hmm.
I basically did not miss a day of school.
Right.
If it comes to having a cold or the flu, I triple dose on NyQuil or whatever, wrap myself up like a burrito, and sweat it all out. And within the 12 to 24 hours, I wake
Yep.
up and I'm fully refreshed.
Yeah.
It's every 4 or 5 years I get the flu.
About once a year, I usually get one really good sick that'll knock me down for a day or two, and then I'm over it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's about it. I mean,
Right.
I've never had like severe surgeries or massive broken bones, other than my pinky on my left hand, where I broke the pinky and ripped off the nail from the base while I was in basic training.
Ow.
Yeah, so my nail comes in at a certain angle, and you can see that right there. Compare
Oh,
it
that's
to
freakish.
that right there.
Dude, you have a mutant nail.
It's literally like almost like if you were shooting off a rocket or something. It's an interesting angle.
You have a mutant nail.
Yeah, I basically broke this section.
Ow.
And yeah, when my drill sergeant looked at my glove, because it was cold at that time, he turned the glove inside out, and there was my nail.
Oh. Oh.
They put it in
Damn.
some, what is that? The brown bottle, the hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah.
They put my nail in it, and they're like, "Do you want it?" I said, "Yes." I still have it at home somewhere. And you got to consider, this nail is 24 years old.
I was going to say older than dirt.
Basically.
Yeah. But, that's because you're getting to be older than dirt.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, well.
After I turned 50, I got up 2 weeks later and I nearly dislocated my hip. Then all of a sudden, a week later, my knee almost, popped out of its socket. I'm like, are you kidding me? What the hell? Before this, I was okay. Now I'm going through all this.
Dude, I snap, crackle. I'm only 46, and I snap, crackle, and pop no matter what I do. I get up into the seat of our buses, and I'm like, man, it sounds like freaking Rice Krispies with your ear right up next to the bowl. It's bad. Like, the moment between 40 and 50, your body just starts going,
Yes.
fuck you.
But here's the alternative part about turning 50. I don't know what the hell's going on, but all of a sudden, my second coming of a sexual peak has hit. And what's fucked up is
It's called a midlife crisis.
no. And what's fucked up is I have no woman in my life.
What do you call Rosie Palmer?
That's getting old. Literally. I actually... It's just ridiculous.
So, ladies, if you're in the Vegas area, Suave Squirrel's looking for a little dip in the pool.
Yeah, just hit it and quit it. That's it.
If you're just looking for some fun,
But yeah, turning 50. I do not hide my age. I'm proud of my age, but this is literally kicking my ass.
Yeah. No, I get it because, I found out that I had scoliosis when I was 21, 22. And scoliosis is basically, it's curvature of the spine. And basically, since everything's attached to the spine, it messes with everything.
Mm.
My hips pop and crack on my knee. I've got one knee that's weak because it doesn't get used the same, and one knee that's weak because it gets used too much.
Yeah.
The random knots, you wake up in the morning and your shoulder's like, yeah, no, you're not going to be lifting anything above, your waist.
Yeah. I used to be able to, when I was married, my ex-wife loved to move a lot, almost once a year. Once the lease was up, she loved to move.
Oh, God.
So I was used to lifting the couch by myself.
Right.
One-handed, It's like, okay, I know what to do, how to do this. Boom, 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 boom. Now, it's where...
You consider the beer and pizza a worthwhile investment because you need help.
Yes.
And yes, that's my charge, beer and pizza. but not cheap beer, dude. I'm an expensive beer whore.
Well, see, for me, I've been at my place for now 5 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, once the ex was gone, I didn't have to move as much.
Oh, dude, no. And, we've been at our current place for 4 years now. We've been in Vegas now for 6. Or November will be 6 years. And
how long have you been driving?
Huh?
How long have you been driving now? 4? 5?
4 years. 4 years in July.
Okay. Yeah, because that was about the time, you moved to where you were at right now.
Yeah, about a year after I started, we moved.
Yeah.
And I was raised in a military family. We moved every 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
And I've stayed at places progressively longer since leaving home. I lived in Sacramento for 8 years, lived in Hawaii for 11 years, and now we're 6 years into here. And I'm looking at buying a house. We're not trying to move, not even in the same city if we don't have to.
Yeah.
And after we get the house, because it's just the idea of setting down roots. And I know to anybody that was born and raised in the same damn city, it's like, oh, I hate this place. I want to get out of here. I'm like, you have no idea. I don't know or speak to anybody I went to school with.
I still have. I have very few.
But I've got a couple that went to the same school as me, but I really don't talk to them.
Oh, where my parents live now, my neighbor across the street. I've known her for 36 years. Mm-hmm. Come October, it'll be 36 years. She's one of my best friends. I have another friend who I've known for also 36 years. My best male friend that I had growing up and his sister, I keep in touch with both of them. He doesn't have social media. She does. Mm-hmm. I have known them 45 years.
Wow.
Their aunt taught us Mexican folklore dancing.
Oh.
I did that for from the age of 9 until I was 25.
Damn.
It was one of the greatest workouts. It was some of the best times I've ever had.
You want to see an insane workout? You got to look up the stuff that they do for hula.
Oh yes,
dude.
My niece was part of it at her high school.
She was. Oh, okay. They had a hula class in the high school.
They had the Polynesian class, mm-hmm. and each grade had to have a representative. And since she was one of the very few females, mm-hmm. but the others were too shy, mm-hmm. and she was good at it.
Dude, like one of the exercises that the halaus in Hawaii that I've been told about this, and I'm like, no. This broken old fucker here is not going to be doing this shit. They basically duck walk on a beach.
Yes.
Can you imagine trying to duck walk on sand?
Oh hell no! I'd be breaking every bone in my foot up to my hip.
And then my ass would break because I'd fall flat on my ass. And I mean, I can't imagine duck walking on this.
Just regular ground.
Right. Now you make it
unstable.
You make it loose packed sand.
Uh-huh.
No. And these people, man, their thighs are bigger around than my chest. I mean, they're holy crap. And that's just one of the exercises. Like, dude, it's insane. And they do things with their hips that you just like. You mean a hip can bend that way? Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so we were just talking about the military real quick. And I used to be part of a company in Alabama. Okay, I was military police.
Mm-hmm.
And I, even though it was a short time that I was there in the military, I didn't ever want to forget it.
Right.
Well, come to move to Vegas, and of course at that time I had to learn every route, north, south, east, west, and so one of the routes is called is the 209th.
Right.
Well, the company I was with was called the 209th MP Company. One of my buddies, who I no longer talk to because he thought that number 45's actions were okay.
Oh yeah. No, that ended more than a few friendships.
Yeah. Well, what is the 209 route? What is it called?
209. I don't know because that's an MV route.
That's the Owens route.
Owens, okay.
My battle buddy, his last name was Owens.
Oh God.
It crosses with Bruce. His name was Bruce Owens.
Oh, that's weird.
So I'm like, okay, I can never forget this route. I will never forget this route or the company, I was with.
Right.
So, I'm gonna actually put this. I want to put this podcast on because on the Facebook it's the 209th MP Company.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna, my battle buddy, he was a good guy. I didn't like his views, about certain things, but in retrospect, I will never forget him and the military company I was with.
Right.
So, if he ever hears this, just so you know, we have our differences, but I still think of you. So
yeah, absolutely. And well, hopefully he gets a chance to hear it.
Yeah.
Sorry about the political views. We try to stay away from politics entirely on here, but
it happens.
It happens, and anybody that served deserves at least that respect.
Yeah. I wish I could have stayed in a lot longer. Back then, I still believe that, over the years, decades, medical procedures, how to find certain things, what's wrong with your body, wasn't developed as it is today. So I think my diabetes was already in its beginning stages,
right?
And so I was gaining and losing weight like crazy, and they couldn't. When I would go to the doctors overseas and here, they couldn't understand why I was gaining weight. I was doing so much physical training,
right,
that they couldn't understand.
Right. And of course, we just sat here and ate a big, fat, juicy burger with some fries.
Well, no, you had one burger, okay?
Oh yeah. So I get accused of eating like a fucking vacuum. I get told all the time by the bratty squirrel that did you breathe when she's still eating her food and I'm already done. Well, I'm eating my meal and I go at my normal pace, having a conversation. And I finish off my burger. I finish off my fries. I look over there and he has finished 2 burgers and 2 orders of fries. First off, pig much?
Well, you got to remember the old saying in the military, you can taste it after you burp it up.
Right, and
you got to eat fast because you never know what's going to happen. So
you never know when your next meal is going to be. And the bad part is I was raised in a military family, and that's why I do eat quick.
Mm-hmm.
You just blew the fucking doors off of my Trans Am with that Ferrari that just blew past my ass on the damn road. With
Well, you got to remember also, okay, I'm the oldest of 3 brothers, okay? When my mom said, food's ready, you either come down and eat, or you're whatever's left over, that's what you're going to eat, or make yourself whatever. And we are not small. I am the shortest of my brothers, but I'm the oldest. I am 5'7".
That's what she said. He's the shortest.
My youngest brother is about 5'10", 5'11".
Oh, damn.
Now, I have a half brother also.
Okay.
My half brother and my middle brother are both 6'1".
Yeah. And that's about my height, so.
But.
Half of a beard.
And it's funny because my brothers will work out, and a lot of times they're like straight as a board.
Mm-hmm.
Where I work out and I look like a damn bulldog.
Right.
So, but yeah, we had to eat, otherwise we'd have to either go make something or go buy something.
Damn.
And my mom, even though when my half brother would come over, there'd be 6 of us, she'd cook for 15 and all the food was gone.
Oh yeah. Well, that's teenage boys.
Mexican.
That's teenage boys, period. I mean, my parents, it used to be when I was like 14 or 15 years old, I was real skinny, and I could put away an extra large pizza by myself.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I packed it. I probably had, like, my big toe probably weighed 50 pounds. I mean, I don't know. I just... Oh, God. Well, look at that. We have actually been sitting here for an hour, and so that we don't get booted out of here by the awesome wait staff here at Denny's.
They've been pretty cool about everything.
They've been pretty damn cool.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's not too busy in here, so that's probably why we've been able to stay in here a little longer.
We did get lucky with that one. I am going to go ahead and hit our wonderful theme music down here. Let's get some twerking turtles. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for listening to the Squirrel Tangent. We are on all of your major streaming services. I do have another podcast called The Wheel of What, where I'm talking about a brand new. I'm talking about an old book series that's about to be made into a brand new TV series for The Wheel of Time. Give us a listen on that one if you like what you've heard. Please check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're on all of it.
MySpace.
Oh, God. Thank you so much. Oh, and if you really like us, hit us up on patreon.com/The Squirrel Tangent. Give us a couple bucks a month, and we'll get your name mentioned on an episode.
Adios.
Aloha.
Bye-bye. Bye, Karen.